the sets of challenges in the product industry. There are people who say they'll buy today and today never comes. The people at the office who say, I'm in the lift until today, they're still in the lift. They're on the way. You know, sometimes they come downstairs, nakuja, and till now, they're still on the way. They're still on the way. So there's those things that were quite the challenge. And then making money also comes with the challenge of what do I use this money for? Because if you've never made money, okay, now you're making it. And then, of course, at the first time, you're going to buy the shoes, you're going to go out, and then the saving things come, and you're like, so where do I save?
Welcome to another episode of Get Your Bag Right podcast. On today's episode, we are joined by the lovely lady Lynda, who's going to take us through her entrepreneurial journey as we celebrate International Women's Day this year on March. So the theme for this year is Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress. And Lynda is here to take us through her entrepreneurial journey. So welcome, Lynda. Tell us a little bit about yourself before we play a game to break the ice.
All right. So hi, everybody. My name is Lynda Sungu, and I am an entrepreneur in the health and wellness industry. Particularly, I am in network marketing, partnered with Forever Living Products. And at the same time, I am a dancepreneur. I'm a dance teacher. And this is particularly in the Afro-Latin dances. That is salsa, bachata, kizomba. So that's what I do.
You said salsa then?
Bachata and kizomba.
So what's the difference between the three?
Basic countries of origins of the dances. Kizomba is an African dance, origin is Angola. And then, of course, the others are not based in Africa.
Kizomba is the Zumba?
No, Zumba is totally different from kizomba.
Okay.
Yeah, totally different. But don't worry, a lot of people ask that.
I feel like now I'm in a dance class. Okay, that's good. So before we start off the session, we usually play a game. So I'm going to ask you 3 sets of questions. I'll also answer them.
Okay.
Are you a coffee or tea person?
A tea person.
Same here. I think I'm also a tea person. I rarely take coffee. I think I can count the number of times I've taken coffee. I think 2 times. Yeah. Also because there's a time I had hormonal imbalance. And I went to the gyna and she asked me, do you take coffee? So I looked back and I was like, the last 3 months I've been taking coffee consistently. Then she was like, you need to stop.
Oh gosh.
So I didn't even know such things like affect your hormones.
Definitely.
Yeah. So sometimes even we learn. So from that time I was like, nah, me and coffee is not a thing.
Anymore.
I can't suffer. Let me just take my tea. Yes. So what is something you can't cook?
Biryani. I can't cook biryani.
Okay. I think I'm a basic. The chapati.
Right.
I can't make chapati. I don't even want to think about making chapati. I've been taught, but I've never practiced.
Yeah.
So different people have taught me different styles about making chapati, of how to roll. Yes. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah. But then the point of practicing it, I have never even thought, okay, now let me practice what I've been taught. Okay. Every time I feel like, okay, it's time to practice, I'm like, no. It's never that serious. Let me someone just make for me the chapati. Yeah. So I think it's also laziness. Yeah. Otherwise, I know if I can practice, I will be able to cook chapati. Yeah. Okay. So then the other one is, what will you like to do when you retire?
I think I want to travel. I just want to travel, especially considering the fact that I'm a dancer. There are different dance communities in this world that I'd love to visit and experience their cultures. And there'll always be something new and exciting to look forward to. So if everything is in place, I just want to travel if I don't have anything to do.
Okay, that's good. What will I want to do when I retire? I think it's just chill. Chill and enjoy my money. Yeah. Live in a place outside Nairobi, like live in Limuru, where the greenery is there. I wake up to birds, I just want that peaceful life. Yeah. And maybe find a hobby. But then the hobby will come when I'm old, yeah. Right now, the only thing I have in mind is where I want to live. But what I would like to do, I have not thought about it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a step I need to work on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So we can start off the session.
Yeah.
What is your earliest memory of money?
I think I must have been between the classes 2 or 4. when sometimes mom would give me money to go buy a couple of things, and then you remain with some small change. And I was like, this is so cool to have a little bit of money so that I could always go buy, even if it's that sweet, that notebook. Those used to be my first memories of money. I remember even that time I used to have 40 shillings I had saved. I never really used it for anything for a long time until mom found it. I don't know what she used it for. But yeah, those were my first experiences with holding my own money.
Yeah, and the 40 bob felt like a lot of money.
It was a lot because you could buy things for 1 bob, small things.
The sweets,
yeah, so I really felt
gums,
rich.
the different colors. Yes. I think they're still.
They're there.
Okay, yeah. I think it's now adulting. We don't even see these things. We're like, no.
Yeah.
Maybe even now, they're 5 bob.
Yes.
Or maybe even 6 bob.
Yeah.
Love has become so expensive. So we're not even cognizant of such things that we were when we were small.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. So could you please share a bit about your financial journey? Okay. What challenges have you experienced during your journey and how you've been able to overcome those challenges?
Yeah. So when I look at my university life, I was a government-sponsored student, so I definitely relied on the HELB loan to take care of my education. And it was good to have that money, but it's the fact that money paid fees anyway. So it wasn't mine. And I was like, I really wished I could get something to do. Because back in campus, you'd see people doing academic writing, people would sell sweets, people who had their eggs and smoky business. And I was like, I'm looking for something to do. And I didn't get anything until 3rd year when I had gone for attachment. And I didn't like what I saw there in terms of the future. And that's the time where I met one of my former primary schoolmates. And she told me she was in entrepreneurship. And she said, if I could show you a business where both you and I could be profitable, would you be interested? And that was my first encounter with money. Starting the business with somebody in a background of science, because my background is in biochemistry, it was a totally new world because all along I knew I'm going to school and I'm going to get a job. So with this particular change, I remember telling her, I hope you guys will teach me because I have never sold anything in my life. I don't know how to quote unquote convince people. That's what we used to call it back then. So it started out with a lot of resistance, first of all, with people that I knew. Number one, maybe was affordability of products. Others, maybe it was just preference. I don't want to buy this. But they were not being very clear with their messaging and all those weird rejections on why people could not support your business. So at the beginning, you'd be like, why are the people I know not supporting my business and all that? So that particular resistance made the first steps of getting money hard until I took the business online and ran an ad on Facebook. And a random client from Mombasa, whose contact I still have till date, and that was in 2017, but on the first call, I just explained a couple of products that she wanted, told her the benefits, and she said, how can I pay? And I thought she was joking. And I sent her the pay bill, and she paid immediately. And that was the first time I made my money. It was 2,000 shillings, and I was very excited. In fact, I offered her free delivery to Mombasa because I could not believe she had bought products from me. So that's how the money journey started. And then when we're looking at challenges, it was first of all learning now how to retain customers. Because I'm in the product industry. So making sure that once they get results from the products that I've used, being in a position to give them tips on how they can better their lifestyle since I'm in health and wellness. And at the same time, offer them support in terms of products that they can continue using to support their healthy lifestyle. Definitely came with its sets of challenges in the product industry. There are people who say they'll buy today and today never comes. The people at the office who say, I'm in the lift until today. They're still in the lift. They're on the way. You know, sometimes they come downstairs. Nakuja, and till now, they're still on the way. They're still on the way. So there's those things that were quite the challenge. And then making money also comes with the challenge of what do I use this money for? Because if you've never made money, okay, now you're making it. And then, of course, at the first time, you're going to buy the shoes, you're going to go out. And then the saving things come and you're like, so where do I save? And those were the first things because I think 2018 was a very quote-unquote good economic year when you're looking at what now is
that time
for us.
It was nice.
So making money was not a problem. It was what to do with the money, however small, however big. So when I look at my life right now, the biggest challenge back then that I didn't know was what would I have used this money for? Like, I should have started saving earlier. At that time, I didn't know what money market funds were. All I knew were my parents are in circles, and that's where people put money.
Yeah.
So that's all I knew. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm ready to put money in the circle. And recently, when I was learning about money market funds over 2 years ago, that's the time I was like, I wish I had this information. I could have done better with my money. But then again, you don't regret that money. God knew was there for you to fill in that void and financial trauma that you've always had. And now that you've solved those things, you can do better with the money. Yeah.
So now with the challenges you have faced, you had mentioned, how were you able to now overcome those challenges?
First of all, I think one of the best things about entrepreneurship is that there are high seasons and then there are very low seasons.
Rock bottom.
So it came to a point that I decided taking some financial lessons will help. And a couple of pages that I met back then were Africa's Pocket. That was the first one that I met. Then I met Centonomy. Then after that is when I met Susan Wanjiko. And then now recently Amos Ngahu. So been getting a lot of tips from them on what to do with money, how to overcome debt. Because again, you see with the entrepreneurship and the low seasons, getting into debt is very easy. Especially things like Mshwari, KCB, M-Pesa. You find yourselves roped into those things, not knowing, or maybe sometimes knowing, but it's because there's a need. So first of things I did was learning where to save. With some of my colleagues, we started with these merry-go-round chamas. So I got into a couple of, maybe one chama you're saving 2,000 every 15th and 30th. Another maybe you're removing 1,000, something like on 10th, 20th, 30th, things like that. Every 20th, remove 5K and save. And then it would rotate. By the time it's coming back to you, you need to have known what this money was supposed to do.
That's true.
So the aim for me when I was joining those chamas is to develop the discipline of saving. Because you see, from those lessons, like in Africa's Pocket, I was like, how do I put money aside? I have this money and I'm putting it aside. And so my problem was actually learning how to put the money aside. So the culture. The aim now for joining the chamas for me was to learn how to put the money aside and then budget for it before it comes in. And then 2 years ago is when I started heavily on money market funds. Saving for the whole year. You don't touch that money until you're done saving for the whole year with a couple of my friends. And then halfway through the year, or even sometimes when there is beginning, I already budget what that money will do. So that by the time it's coming, there's a miscellaneous budget. That one, go reward yourself, go buy whatever you wanted. But a good chunk of this money is supposed to go into this account, solve this for mom and dad, do that and do that. So that has definitely had a very huge impact over the last 2 years of my life when you look at my business journey.
That's good. You've mentioned African Pocket. I remember like the first page also I followed when I wanted to now start the financial literacy journey was Africa's Pocket. And I was like, wow, these people are actually doing a great job.
They are.
And now they have evolved from how they started. Now it's like a whole big institution.
A very big institution. I look forward to their newsletters.
Growth is inevitable. Okay. Can you share how entrepreneurship or life experiences have played a role in how you relate to money?
Entrepreneurship has definitely taught me the art of patience and grace, and the fact that if money comes today, definitely I affirm and wait for tomorrow's, because I know I'll still make money tomorrow, but it's a fact that today's money needs to solve today's problems, and if I can push and solve other things, then let me do that as well. So it has really given me a very positive outlook for money. And it's a fact that with entrepreneurship, sometimes there's no glass ceiling for money. It's limitless. This month you can make something as low as 20,000, and next month you can make 100, 150.
I know.
And with the particular industry and company I work for, it's a fact that I can make money in over 100 countries from where I am. I don't have to be there, but they have put systems in place. So entrepreneurship has opened the door to the fact that you can earn in dollars, you can earn in pounds, you can earn in whatever currency, because your business license here enables you to operate in different countries, start up your business and launch it in different countries. So it has really opened up a fact that I don't have to depend on my salary, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's just the fact that it doesn't just have to be your salary, it can be more than your salary. So it's really given me a positive outlook for money. And this thing I don't have to start low. Especially sometimes with phones, as I don't have to buy the cheapest phone, that's because I want. It's a fact that I'm like, I deserve that Samsung S23. I deserve that iPhone. Like, it's not for specific people. It's not for influencers.
It's
even
for everyone.
Yeah.
Abundant mindset.
Yes, that is actually the best gift of entrepreneurship. The mindset.
Yeah, the mindset plays a role. I know. you've talked about patience. Hey, that is true.
Very.
Entrepreneurship will teach you patience.
Yeah.
I remember also when I was starting, one of the things I wrote down was my goals. I was like, now I will make this amount in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Hey, the numbers looked so nice. Hey, until now you now start.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
These numbers
this is not what we were taught in school.
Yes.
Like, no, application is totally different.
Very different.
I think they don't teach us patience.
They don't teach patience. They also don't teach entrepreneurship. Like a good number of the business classes, entrepreneurship is like that topic they brush through because they think everybody is going to be absorbed in the job market. And again, there's nothing wrong with the job market. It's a fact that people, if there's a lesson I wish I had is, imagine entrepreneurship is okay and it's amazing. It's challenging. It's not a walk in the park.
It's challenging.
But it's also a route you can take.
Yeah.
But we don't tell people that until they get outside here and they're like, I really need another hustle. But can I do it with my job? Can I do it with the current activities I have in my life? Yeah.
That's true. It requires patience. And by the time you position yourself,
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I think people need to know this.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, as we celebrate International Women's Day, how do you think supporting and empowering women economically can truly accelerate progress for all?
I think it's very important to empower women. Number one, to make their own money. And number two, to invest their own money. We see a lot of these cases, whether it's in marriage where maybe unfortunately the breadwinner, maybe if it's a husband, they pass away. If it's a father of your children and they leave you with their kids, and we see a lot of people stranded. We see some people sometimes having early pregnancies when they're not financially and mentally ready to actually navigate those journeys. So I think entrepreneurship is one of those journeys that will really help women. It's even about the soft skills, it's not even about the money. It's the soft skills entrepreneurship gives women that I think is very important, from learning to be graceful, learning to be patient with people, learning to work with people, learning to actually believe in yourself and trust in your dreams. And then, of course, the money and what money can do. Because money looks very good on women, and therefore giving them an opportunity and a platform to make their money, to save their money, to invest their money, and actually holding people's hands and seeing them actually use their money for the better is amazing. Looking at our business and how we generally take recognition and celebrations very seriously for people, whether it's somebody buying a phone, whether it's them moving into their house and they've bought everything in their house, whether it's buying the car, whether it's, buying a cow at home because they're starting their agribusiness journey, whether it's traveling, it's very important. And you see what that kind of confidence gives women. The fact that I didn't have this 2 years ago and now I have it. So I think it's very important that even in this year, women should not be afraid to make their own money. Even if there's somebody else who's providing for you, you need to look at it in terms of what other benefits does entrepreneurship have, money aside.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So then, as we wrap up, who is a woman that you admire in Kenya, and why do you admire this particular woman?
I've really thought about this question for a while, but when I look at it, this one has got to be in the dance industry in Kenya. The woman I admire is called Marion Munga. She is the director and CEO of the Dance Factory Kenya, and also the co-founder of Dance Kike. I look up to this woman. I'm honored to share a birthday with her.
Oh wow! Hey, that's coincidence. Good coincidence.
It's amazing for me. It's the way she has been able to monetize dance. For me, it's a fact that dance is different from products that you can sell. People sometimes need products, but it's a fact that how do I make people see dance is important. The fact that she gives those platforms for people to go dance, have fun, offer classes. And for me, I also look up to her because she's the first person who helped me monetize my dance journey. She literally actually gave me my first dance income and has supported since then. So for me, she's definitely a woman I always give her flowers for what she did, because sometimes you see people gatekeeping these industries, forgetting that Nairobi is big, Kenya is big, we can all make this money together. So for her, giving me that platform was definitely something big for me. And she is somebody I really admire. If I can be able to do a third of the things she's done in the dance industry for myself, I think I'll be really on the right track.
Okay. Yeah. She's a pace setter.
A very huge one.
Hey, you've talked about dance. I want to tell you now to plug your business. So where can people find you before now we go to the last question?
Yeah, so for business inquiries, maybe somebody is looking for an opportunity to build an income. They can send me a message on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok at Lynda Sungu, Lynda with a Y, any of those platforms. And I have also been able to put a link on my bio on Instagram that will also plug you in case you're looking for products in the health and wellness industry, whether it's personal care, skincare, weight management, supplements. And for those who are looking for a business opportunity, there is a business link there. So if you're looking forward to making money this year and you don't know where to get started on, hit me a message. I believe I can be able to get you started.
Okay. And also your dance
and
classes.
And for dance as well, there's a highlight on dance as well on my Instagram page. So you should be able to also just check it out. If you're looking for classes in Nairobi, if you're not in Nairobi, again, just feel free to message me. I should be able to link you up with any community around in Kenya, depending on where you're located.
That's true. For those people who want to start, maybe their goal was to start exercising this year.
Yes. Even just having fun.
Having fun. You can have fun through dancing.
Yes,
and
or decompress. Some of my students come and I ask them, so why are you here today? And they're just like, I just want to forget. And I'm like, that's
you don't
important.
need the gym. There's also dance.
Yeah.
When I'm saying this, I'm telling someone in the room. Yeah. So what is one thing you wish you had learned earlier in life?
Entrepreneurship is okay. Because I was very pro-corporate and I always say there is nothing wrong with it. But it's the fact that I was against entrepreneurship. It was not the fact that I was pro-corporate. It's the fact that I didn't think entrepreneurship had the same level of power and confidence as, so I didn't think they were on the same level. That's the one thing I wish I learned earlier, because I'd have been open-minded earlier to have started my entrepreneurship journey way earlier than I did. Because even in high school, in Precious Blood, we used to have a club called Junior Achievement that used to teach people those things. But I used to look at it and I'm like, no, I don't think I'm creative enough to build a product. I don't think that one is for me. And then I was the all sciences person. So I knew I'm going into the medical field. So I never paid attention to it, only for my course and God to tell me, I've put you in this course. I missed my marks to go to med school. So when I settled for biochemistry, it's like God was like, I'm actually just directing you to where you need to be. So when I was going for that attachment, and I saw what I saw, and I was like, I really need a plan B. So if there's something I needed to have learned early, is that entrepreneurship is just as amazing as the corporate life.
Okay. Yeah. So a follow-up question on that, because I also suffered through the same.
Yeah.
But then when I was telling someone, they asked me, how did your surroundings look like when you're growing up? Was there anyone who was in the entrepreneurial journey, or majority of them were employed maybe in the private sector, or now civil servants?
Yeah. When I look at it, a good number of my parents and definitely their cousins, were my aunts and uncles, were definitely employed people. But my grandmother, who I'm named after, was a businesswoman. She'd make things, whether it's food and sell, whether it's getting clothes and selling them, or vitamba. And it's the fact that she's one of the people who always says, you just keep going. This thing works. So just keep putting in the work. But you see, she was a bit far away until when I started the journey. And she's like, you're becoming an entrepreneur. She was like, back in the day, this is something I used to do. So you keep going. You need to work hard until the results show. So definitely my direct environment contributed to my first attitude towards what entrepreneurship looked like. But when I look at the kind of lessons I've picked along the journey, any person I meet and they ask me for advice, I'm just like, as you're going to campus, be open-minded. You will expect A only to find B or C or D.
That's true. That's true. I think also for me it was that. My surroundings were mostly people who are employed, working in corporate sector, civil servants. Even me, entrepreneurship was just like, hey, what is that? Like I never even considered it. Like it was not something that was there. So for me, even when I finished uni, I knew, look for a job. Everyone around me is looking for a job, you know. Until now, I decided like, okay, fine, there's this thing where you can go into self-employment, consultancy, be your own boss, just start kidogo. And also that one is okay.
It's very okay.
Okay. Let me look for some questions so that we can end the session.
Okay.
They're just 2 questions. So the first one is, what sport will you compete if you were in the Olympics?
Definitely netball. And it's a sport I played in high school. And I was more proficient in it than volleyball. So if I was to have gone pro with a sport, it's gotta be netball. It's not as vigorous as basketball. And then volleyball, I always feared for my fingers. So netball was safer. Yeah. And then I don't like to run a lot. So definitely not basketball, not football, not hockey, not athletics. Yeah.
I think for me it will be running. I used to run in high school and I loved it.
Okay, I don't like running.
I think I need to start. I used to love running. Everyone, even when we were having those sports days.
Yeah.
Like I used to be there in the relay.
Yeah, and they know your team will win.
And they know my... I'm telling you. That is the joy of high school. So then the other question is, are you a day or night person?
Definitely a night person. Over the last 1.5 years, I've struggled with waking up early. But I can be active and I can close my day at 2 a.m. I also teach dance classes in the evening. So I feel like from 3 p.m. going all the way to the night, my night is busier. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm a day person. I don't understand these people who are night people. I call them night runners. I'm like, I'm not a night runner, by the way. I like the day. I don't understand why you're night running in the dark. Yeah. So thank you so much, Lynda, for coming on this episode. And any last words?
So my advice definitely for this month, as we celebrate International Women's Day, is to just tell women out there, if you see and if you meet an opportunity, don't think twice about it. Don't start asking questions. Just go for it.
Yeah, don't second guess.
Yeah.
Do not second guess. Hey, as women, we second guess a lot. Guy, it's a bit too much. But anyway, let's end the session there. So until next time, my name is Lynette, helping you get your bag right.